everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. Thank you for joining me for some more painting. I'm really excited for this painting. I've now done 3 times and I'm hoping that it's going to come out nicely. And I hope that you guys are all able to follow along. So today we're going to be doing basically a moon, mountain, and a tree. So it's kind of just a quick, fun afternoon. This one's a little bit darker than what we've been doing, and it's not abstract, so it's gonna take a little bit more technique. I hope I can show you some easy little tips and tricks to get you kind of in the same, the same vicinity of what we're trying to do here. So let's just get started. I hope you have some brushes, and I'm going to be using a paint knife today. I really like it when I'm pulling down a mountain. I think it just works really nicely to get the paint on the canvas, and so I've got one of these. You can use an old credit card, I find works well, the edge of that. And you're gonna need a large, medium, and small paintbrush. And you guys can always do this in different colors. This I'm gonna be doing lots of greens and a little blue, black and gray, gold. So let's get started. Oh, I'm also gonna be using, I'm gonna be using the lid of my coffee that I had this morning, and that's gonna be our moon stamp, just to keep our canvas nice and keep our circle nice and crisp at the edges. Today I am using, yet again, recycled canvas. I've actually used this 3 times now. So I've just put a whitewash on there, and we're gonna go over it with our moon color. This is very textured now, so I'm hoping that it's still gonna turn out all right. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just gonna throw my hair up real quick and get that out of the way. And let me rearrange you guys so that we're looking at the canvas, and we'll get started. Okay. Ooh, oh goodness. Okay. There we go. You should be able to see that pretty well now. I'll just move it up a little. Yeah, somewhere like that. Okay, so I have my little meat trays that I'm using as my palette, and in this one I'm having my dark colors because I'm not gonna do a lot of rinsing of my brush or my paint knife. So here I have my black, my gray, some shades of green, and some shades of blue. In this one here, I have my gold, this white, yellow, and this is kind of gold, but mostly just sparkles. And then just clear white on the side. Okay. And then I do have another one here with some more greens, just because I'm gonna muddle this up, and a gold and a yellow. Okay, so this is a painting that I did a couple of years ago, and I was rearranging the living room and found this, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to get another go at this, and maybe you guys would like it as well. Okay. I also have my blow dryer because for time-lapse purposes, we're gonna try to move this along. So you guys, I'm not wasting your whole entire day, just a little bit of it. So I'm gonna start first by doing my entire background in the color of my moon. So, I mean, you don't have to do the whole thing, but you could just do the top half if you want it. I'm gonna do it all. And working with some lighter in this area. And I'm leaving it kind of streaky, kind of lots of different colors because I don't think that any moon I ever saw was perfectly one color. And I think this is the perfect time with the crazy full moon coming to do this night scene. Okay. And I'm gonna put a little more white just in this general area because I really want to brighten up this moon. And we'll work in some darker this way around the edges. And we are going to kind of let this background come through as we move forward. So it's just we're layering the colors on, really having a nice rich palette. So now I'm gonna blast this. So you guys will probably just want to wait a couple minutes, I don't know, have a cup of coffee or something, and then come back to it. Good enough. All right, so just taking my little plastic lid here, and I'm gonna go kind of over here, I guess. I don't want it to be too perfectly centered. I just think that looks awkward. So we're gonna put that there, and got some little things. Doesn't matter if I wipe that up. You got it. All right, now I'm gonna grab another brush and one of my larger size brushes, and I'm gonna mix up some dark tealy greenish color to put in our dark background. So I'm just taking all three of these colors here. I'm just gonna add a little bit from each corner until I get close to the shade that I want. I'm definitely gonna need some more of this blue. I'm gonna want variations of this color because as we get further towards the outside of the canvas, I'm gonna want it to get darker. You'll really focus your attention towards the brightness of the moon. Okay, I'm liking that. That's pretty good. I'm gonna do just a bit more blue though. Hope you guys are able to find canvases out there in the world, or if you're ordering them online, or if you know of some secret hideout for canvases, let me know. My usual spots are pretty slim pickings these days, which is maybe a good thing. Maybe that means that you guys are painting along with me. Aha. Gotta find the positives, right? Okay. So I'm gonna start here. We can always go back and mix them a little bit more or a different shade. And even though that this is still a bit wet, I'm just gonna start going in and adding this right on top. anchoring my moon as I paint around. And we're gonna do the whole canvas. Just building up another layer of color here. Okay. Make sure you're getting enough paint on your brush. Otherwise, if your background is not completely dry, it will pull that gold in and lighten the color even more. Okay. And now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add some more blue, and I'm going to choose a variation of this color that's a bit darker. So I'm gonna pull in a little bit of black, some greens in this blue. Careful with that black, it darkens it up quickly. Yeah. And I'm gonna start towards the edges with this really dark version of our greenish blue. And let it kind of just fade inwards. So dark, dark towards the edges. And down here. And then you're gonna want it to fade to a lighter color towards the moon. That's a bit darker than I wanted. So I'll just drag this out. Don't get all freaked out if it's not perfect looking. The streakiness is okay. It's gonna give it some interesting detail. And we are painting here, so brush strokes are not terrible things to see. Okay, so that is getting nice and dark around the edges. I didn't like what happened over here. Give it another go through. Okay, I think I'm done with that brush. Next, I'm gonna try to bleed in some moon rays around and just give us the impression that the moon is making these beautiful wispy rays around. And I'm gonna use some of my sparkles for that. I'm not sure that this is gonna be dry enough. Let me give it just a tiny test and see what comes out here. That's okay. We're just gonna blend it out. And I know this is not gonna look like my first one, and I'm okay with that. I've done a version of this for my mother that was a nice cheery daytime with cherry blossoms on the tree. We're not gonna do that today. All right. So you see I'm starting to build up layers of color here. We've got the gold base, we've got that dark blue, we've got our lighter blue. I think we're gonna pull off our little moon guard here and see what we have. Aha! I like it. And as I said, no moon is ever perfect, so we're gonna go in with our medium brush, dry, and I'm gonna take some of this bright, non-muddled, non-diluted gold. I often use my hand as a palette as well. And I'm just gonna go in and put some darker details, you know, some imperfections in the surface. some depth. Ooh, I don't like that. You see that? We're gonna have to fix that. So I'm just gonna, how am I gonna do that? Take a smaller brush. Make sure it's cleaned out. I'm gonna just fix that edge. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't need it to look like someone bit a chunk out of it either. You guys are welcome to do this as the daytime scene like I had done before. It comes out really nicely with the cherry blossoms. I can show you another day how to do a really easy cherry blossom. It's basically just Q-tips. Okay, now this is what you get when you don't let your paint dry before you move on to the next layer. Normally I would give it some time and really let it set before I tried going over the top of it. So I'm just gonna do a couple more tap taps here and there, and I'm just gonna leave it and move on. I might come back and do a little bit more afterwards, after we have a little drier. But now what I'm gonna want to do is I'm going to put in a little bit of foreground here. I'm going to be using the same brush that I was using for blues, and I'm going to put some dark shadows to give us some depth. So I don't clean my brushes out much when I do this, just because I like how everything plays together. So I'm just kind of stepping down, and this is going to give us some more depth once we're working in the grass in the foreground. You'll see what I mean. Just go like that. We're going to be dark, dark, dark down in here. After. I'm going to blast this again, get some air on it. Hopefully we can move forward a little more quickly. Bear with me, guys. some black and I'm gonna add a little bit of gray. And we're gonna move in, put our mountain in, the basic shape of our mountain. And I'm going to need gradation of colors. So I'm doing this next to my black, so I can pull more in. And we'll also be using some white. Okay. Now, maybe a little bit more, because I'm going to use my paint knife for this. Yeah, I feel like my brush is just soaking up all of my paint, so we're just going to scrape that out of there. Get rid of that brush. And use our paint knife. Or credit card. Alright. So now this is my be brave moment. There's one in everything I do. So we're just going to pull some paint down randomly and hope it makes a mountain-esque shape. Are you guys nervous? I'm pretty nervous. So, pick a spot and be brave. Alright, so that's gonna be part of my peak here. Mountain-ish. And we're gonna wipe off the paint knife. I'm gonna grab some white. We're gonna start putting in some more detail here. Remember, this does not in any way have to be perfect. We're just giving the impression that there is depth and ridges on this big old mountain in the distance. Okay. I'm going to take some very dark black and go right here. You want to work with quite a bit of paint if you're going to be using a paint knife for this, especially because we're not working on a completely dry surface. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, dry up a little bit before I try to go in and put some more detail. Only because I don't want to muddle it too much. I'm going to move into this area here and start putting in some wispy grass. So I'm going to take, I have a fan brush, and we're going to be using that. One moment, I need that napkin. this is my beat up fan brush, and I like it that way because once it's wet and you pull it off a little, you pull off some of that moisture, you're left with, I guess you can't see that so good, perfect texture for our grass. So I'm gonna start with some dark grassy colors. Just pull this through some of this muddled up green. Dab off some excess. Look for dryish. And just pull up some grass in the background here. Yep. Pull some black into there as well for shadow. And just make your way down. I'm going to pull in some lighter greens. Get that depth going. These don't have to be perfect. Just giving the impression of some grass. Do some shorter ones, showing we're in the front here. I'm gonna put some yellow in there, you know, because our moon would brighten up those stalks back there. Yeah. And maybe pull in a little gold as well. Why not? Yep. Layers, layers, layers. And then I'm gonna kind of just pull some short ones down to the foreground, giving it the impression that this little knoll is moving downwards in front of this large mountain. And I think we need to clean up on our brush. And we're going to take some nice bright green on this, I think. And just, nice. Okay, I'm going to put some yellow in there as well. Nice fresh young grass. Okay. And a little bit of white on top of not all of it, but over the top is where you want to just do some light highlights. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm giving it another layer of dimension, and we're going to put some grass on this side, this little bank here. Okay. I'm going to take some green, nice bright green. Make sure my brush is cooperating. And pull in some little grasses over here. Okay. I'm going to rinse my fan brush, clean it out, and make sure I have those nice spikes. I'm going to go for some of my muddled up green colors, a little black in there, a little gray. I'm going to pull those in just like this. Yep. And some yellow to muddle in there. I don't want to get too carried away with it. I'm just gonna pull this way a little. And just gonna go over it with some of this dark green. That was a little much. Got a little carried away there. And a little black for shadow. Now I'm gonna go in and do just some taller, dark, bigger blades of grass, showing that we're really in the forefront here. And I'm gonna use my paint knife again. I have some paint right on there. I'm just gonna pull down. Ooh, not too much. And pull down. Okay. These don't have to be perfect. You can use your credit card for this. Maybe an old credit card or one of those fake credit cards that they send you in the mail. Behind this, so this will be dark, dark, dark. Okay. You can do as many as you like here. Give that a little. No technical term for that, just the sound. Okay. Just kind of pull some of this darkness over here. We're going to be working upwards with this. Not absolutely in love with that, so I'm going to go over it with my fan brush. See if we can get some little wisps in there. I'm going to use my paint knife again, and we're going to try to pull in this trunk of this tree. A little gray, a little black. And let's start about here. This is just for general shape and position. This gnarly old tree on the side. And just go off the side of the canvas here. Perfect, especially this one. That's a good place to start. I'm going to go back and look at my mountain a little, see if we're able to pull in some more gray. I'm going to take some white from here actually and mix up a little colors like this. And just gonna pull down the mountain and see if we can give it some depth. resources, how that would play out. Okay. Actually, I think I'll do that with a different paper. Orange here. I actually kind of like how my moon turned out. I'm gonna put in a little bit of stars, I think. I'm gonna use this dry, round, bristly brush, and I'm gonna take some white. Actually, I'm gonna need a little bit of water. A little white, a little gold, maybe a little yellow. Do our little splatter in. Make it look like a nice starry evening there. Not too much. Okay. Now we're going to put on some branches and mark in some detail with our tree. Where did I put my little brush? So this is a very, very fine brush, and I'm gonna take my black. We're just gonna start pulling pulling limbs towards our moon. So place them however you like. They're big, they're gnarly, reaching out into the night sky. Do as few or as many as you like. This one. Wispy little fingers reaching out. I think we'll do branch like this. Coming out. Sometimes you gotta go back through and thicken them up to make it make more sense. So that's what I'm doing. I think this one will come over the front of this other branch, and the moon, and the mountain. kind of just wander off and end. We're gonna want to go back in and put some highlights on our tree. So we're gonna go along the top of our branches, just pulling a little white here. Too carried away. Don't be afraid to reload your brush. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'll go back and put some more darks. Just randomly around that tree. I think I'll put some right here. There's way more than I wanted, so I'll go back with some dark. Put some gold in there. In our tree, might need a little more gold. Where is our gold? Put some gold highlights on our stump here. I'm just gonna... Okay. See what we're doing? Just some highlights. Roots. Some golds. Anything that you don't love, guys, after this dries, you can always go back and go over the top. I do a lot of my corrections that way. But you gotta get something on the canvas first and see what you're working with. So right now, this is what we're working with, and I hope that you're loving it. Okay, let's see. All right, guys, I think we're gonna stop here. This is basically the idea of what you want. Get your highlights in. But like I said, you kind of want to work with a little bit of a drier canvas. So let me bring you back to me. You're gonna want a little time here. Just let it set up, and then you can go back through and decide if you want to make some extra edits. So let me just pull this up here and show you. Nice bright moon, the dark tree, you've got all that grass detailing. It's not my favorite mountain. I think I just, I really needed to let it dry. So here's my other one. You can see the difference there. It never comes out the same, especially if you're on a time crunch. But anyway, I would love to see what you guys have come up with this tutorial. You guys are always so great with your contributions. I'd love to see these. I really enjoy this particular style of painting because I feel like we're really showing our technique, our how we play with brushes, how we play with color, but it's not too technical. I'm no Bob Ross. So I hope that you guys had fun today. I totally miss you. I hope you're all staying safe in this crazy world we're living in. Please, if you have requests, let me know. If you want to see something different, if you have any questions, please just leave a comment, hit like, all that jazz. I really appreciate you guys. Miss you so much. Bye.